Hello everybody, this is the King of Pikmin here, and first things first, an apology for not making videos in such a long time. My computer went down again, so I had to get a new hard drive, number one. Number two, I've been working a lot, and number three, once I got my hard drive back, I was having trouble getting all my recording stuff working again, but I'm back. Hopefully more frequently. I say it all the time, so I'm not gonna make any promises, but hopefully more frequently. And they released an Injustice trailer. I'm already late, but I just now got my stuff working. Called "It's Good to Be Bad," and one of my main men, Bane, is in this trailer. So I figured this was a perfect time for me to come back, and I'm gonna be doing a breakdown of this trailer, particularly Bane, but I'm gonna be doing a breakdown of the whole trailer. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so I'm going to be doing this breakdown in bits and pieces. First, we're going to start with Grodd. Now, first things first, we see him here walking forward, and it's going to be showing like the flag of the society behind him. And we know the society is Grodd's way of trying to take over the world, pretty much. So it's a new faction that's being put into the game. And then we see some Grodd gameplay. We've seen a lot of Grodd already, so this is going to be probably the shortest section of the breakdown. But we see, here's his super move here. One good thing to note, though, is this is the first time we've even seen the Flash, like, in the actual game, so that's interesting. And boom! Enters the big man himself. Bane got him so hyped. But as we saw right there, like, we can see that Bane's in Atlantis from the background, and he had just, like, backhanded a door open. And if you look in Bane's left hand, he's dragging someone around by their head. Like, he just beat someone down and is dragging them around now. It looks like an Atlantean guard, if I had to guess. Tell me if you think I'm wrong on that. But my guess is that we know Bane's with the Society and under Grodd, and maybe Grodd sent him to Atlantis to either try recruiting Aquaman. I don't think that would happen, but I think maybe to attack Aquaman. Looks like Bane's doing a pretty darn good job. And here they make it look like Bane's talking to Firestorm, but Firestorm's in, like, Gotham. So I think they're just trying to mask what Bane actually says in the story mode. And then here we get his freaking awesome victory pose. Boom, flex, flex, and then boom. God, that's so sick. But I have to admit, I'm not a fan of like the green fumes coming out of the venom, but everything else I loved. And then right here, like, we get to see a giant uppercut worthy of Mortal Kombat. Boom. And then this, just a DDT off the top rope. Just look at Robin's face. Even he's just like, whatever. Like, he knows he's screwed, dude. They're falling so fast that it's catching fire. God, dude. A friggin' DDT. And then just, oh my god, that explosion of the debris and everything, Robin's dead. Anyways, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Right here, I went and got some footage from the first game because I saw this is Bane's 1-1-3 combo from the first game. And if you look in the trailer, it looks like Bane rears back and does a drop kick. So it looks like he's going to keep his back three being the drop kick because like the animation's like exactly the same. And here we get to see more of his super move, which like right here, it looks like after the knee is when he does the DDT because he starts wrapping his arms back. And then, yeah, it looks like he's going to catch Wonder Woman and then, you know, do the DDT from there, which is so sick. Bane looks so cool. I'm really happy with him. But that last thing I'll mention is the drop kick right there at the end on Wonder Woman. People probably think that might be his back three, which I think it is going to still be his back three, but in that particular instance, because of the sparks and Wonder Woman falling back so shallow, like, she goes far, but it looks like she's going to hit the ground and roll, whereas if you landed a back three, she'd bounce. So I think that's actually his Clash victory animation, and Bane loves his drop kicks, so I wouldn't be surprised. And honestly, as far as Clash animations go, nothing will really beat a freaking drop kick in my mind. And here we see our first shot at Captain Cold, and he's clearly bursting into the ASO clubs. And on a quick note, I hope that Bibbo Babowski, the owner of the ASO clubs, is actually in the game, like story mode, because he's like Superman's biggest fan, and I'd be curious to see if he agrees or disagrees with the like new regime Superman. I know it's like not a big thing, but I think it'd be a cool dynamic for the game. And there we get to see some of Captain Cold's victory pose, I'd assume. Here we get to see some of his throw. There hasn't been too much to discuss about him yet. Like, everything's pretty self-explanatory. But that seems to be his throw, like I said. But I honestly think he looks pretty darn cool. Here is something we can talk about, though. Right here, I initially thought might be like a Captain Cold-themed stage. But I think I was wrong because there's a regime banner there, and we know Captain Cold is working with the Society in Grodd, so I'm thinking this might be a Fortress of Solitude stage, and maybe Superman like turned it into like a base for his regime army. So And then here we get to see a cool move. I think, no pun intended, I think this might work like Sub-Zero's Ice Clone, because you see him put it up, it becomes a wall, and if he meter burns it, he kicks it forward. So maybe it becomes like an actual object in the world that if you touch it, freezes you. So I'm thinking, it's hard to say yet, but I'm thinking it has to do with maybe like plays similar to Sub-Zero's Ice Clone, but we'll see. Maybe it'll block projectiles and stuff. That'd be pretty cool. And there we get to see his super move. Not too much to say other than it's pretty sick. Alright, and here's Scarecrow, our first look, and it looks like he already has in the intro, he's already affected the opponent with Fear Toxin because of the rippling effect behind him, but one thing I have to say, and this looks like his win pose if I have to guess, but it's hard to say. I mean, I'd assume so. But anyways, one thing I have to say is the voice for Scarecrow is perfect. They got Freddy Krueger, Robert. I don't want to pronounce his last name because I'll probably get it wrong, but he does really good in this trailer. It looks amazing. Now, there's not too much, like right there, that looks like a really good low attack from Scarecrow because he actually ducks under Harley Quinn's attack and goes low, so that's going to be really effective. There's just, the super looks sick. I know the mobile game already leaked the super, but I didn't watch it because I wanted to save it for when I actually got to see it in the main game. And one thing I didn't notice until I slowed it down for the breakdown is he's actually slamming Harley Quinn into her grave. If you see the sign there on the headstone, it actually says Harley Quinn. So I'm assuming it'll work like Aaron Black's X-Ray from Mortal Kombat X, where whatever character you're fighting, their grave, I mean their name is going to be on that headstone there, which I found to be a really cool touch that I personally didn't notice when I first watched the trailer. Alright, there's not too much more to talk about in this, but there's a little thing I want to talk about Bane, where I think he's going to stay the same in one aspect, but change in another. Like, so because of his size in this one being so much different than the first one, I think they're going to change some stuff. Like, right there you saw him RKO that, well, I like to think it's a stunner. But basically, in the first game, Bane had this move called Ring Slam. It was an anti-air grab that changed based on the way the opponent was facing. Right there you saw the face down and head facing Bane. This one you're going to see the face down and, or I think face up. No, face down and legs towards Bane. And I think like all of the animations from the first game won't work with the new Bane size. So what I'm thinking is this stunner that Bane does is the new version of this ring slam. Like I can't imagine the Bane in Injustice 2 just grabbing them and throwing them like that. And like this, just reaching up and grabbing them with one hand and then slamming them straight into the ground. I don't see the Injustice 2 Bane doing that either. So I'm going to show the Injustice 2 version again here. I think this is like the face down and head towards Bane anti-air grab. So, you know, that's just really all I had to say about that. And then right here, I think Scarecrow, I think this might be the start of his super. Maybe he throws out his hook and reels you in and then grabs you and then just starts spewing the fear gas in your face, and that's how his super starts, because you're going to need a lot of fear gas for that super to make, well, I mean, not make sense, but you're going to need he's going to need to apply fear gas somehow. And I feel like that might be the start of his super there, but I could be wrong. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This has to be my favorite trailer yet, not only because Bane's in it. It was just such a well done trailer, and Captain Cold looks sick, Scarecrow looks sick. I mean, Bane is the real highlight of the show, don't get me wrong. Like, let's face it, like Bane and Grodd are gonna be my two characters so far, but I'm just really excited. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, Bane, I was worried because we still haven't seen much gameplay yet, and I haven't seen any backbreakers, which is scary, but if he doesn't get the backbreaker, I'm going to be extremely disappointed, but I'm sure he'll have one somehow. And another thing I have to mention is I'm not a huge fan of his look. I like his pants and boots, but his upper half, he looks like some sort of like Nazi experiment. I don't know. I just don't like the way he's doing it. And the green venom fumes coming out of the tubes and stuff, I'm not a fan of that either. But the gear system can remedy that, and so far his gameplay looks freaking sick. As soon as they do a breakdown on one of the Watchtower streams, I'll be sure to be there. I'll do a reaction to it and everything. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you thought of the breakdown in the comments below. Before I rant too much longer, thanks as always everybody for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.